Hello students, for class 10, chapter 2, I am going to upload a video, second part and last part of the chapter. So, the chapter is polynomial. Today, in this chapter, we are going to discuss on division algorithm of polynomial. Division algorithm of polynomial. Now, what is division algorithm of polynomial? P of x is the given polynomial. We are dividing the polynomial by another polynomial g of x. Whenever we get a polynomial q of x as quotient and polynomial r of x as a remainder, then the division algorithm division algorithm states that given any polynomial p of x and any non-zero polynomial g of x, we can find polynomial q of x and r of x such that p of x is equal to g of x into q of x plus r of x. Now here to be noted, number one, if r of x is equal to 0, then g of x is a factor of q of x, and hence q of x is also a factor of p of x. G of x is also a factor of p of x, and hence q of x is also a factor of p of x. Number 2, if degree of p of x is greater than the degree of g of x, then degree of q of x, degree of q of x is equal to degree of p of x, degree of p of x minus degree of g of x. Number 3, if degree of p of x is equal to degree of g of x, then degree of q of x, then degree of q of x is equal to 0, and degree of r of x is less than degree of g of x. So let us listen again. The division algorithm states that given any polynomial p of x and any non-zero polynomial g of x, we can find polynomial q of x and r of x such that p of x is equal to g of x into q of x plus r of x. It is clear to you this dividend is equal to divisor into quotient plus remainder. Now let us talk about their degree and condition for factors. If it is seen that r of x is equal to 0, that is there is no remainder, then g of x is a factor of p of x, that is g will be a factor of the given polynomial, and hence q of x will also be a factor of given polynomial p of x. If degree of p of x is greater than degree of g of x, then degree of g of x is the difference of the degree of p of x and degree of g of x. Third, if degree of p of x is equal to degree of g of x, then degree of q of x is equal to 0, and degree of r of x will be degree of g of x. Next discussion, if alpha and beta be zeros of quadratic polynomial, p of x, then P of x is equal to x minus 1 root into, there is x minus one of the zeros into x minus another 0. That is P of x is equal to x minus alpha into x minus beta. That is x minus alpha and x minus beta are factors of P of x. Hence, P of x is divisible by x minus alpha into x minus beta, and the polynomial P of x is equal to x minus alpha into x minus beta. Obviously, if you multiply, you will get x square minus alpha plus beta into x minus plus alpha beta. That is P of x is equal to x square minus sx plus p, where s is the sum of the zeros alpha and beta and p is the product of the zeros alpha beta, which is discussed earlier. Okay, now I am showing you one or two sums. Suppose you are given a question, obtain all zeros of 3x to the power 4 plus 6x cubed minus 2x square minus 2x square minus 10x minus 5. If two of its zeros are under root of 5 by 3 and minus under root of 5 by 3. So here what we are given? We are given, you see that the polynomial P of x is of degree 4. So it has 4 zeros, and out of the 4 zeros, 2 zeros are given which are under root of 5 by 3 and minus 5 by under root of 5 by 3. So we can write alpha is equal to under root of 5 by 3 and beta is equal to minus under root of 5 by 3. Then x minus under root of 5 by 3 and x plus minus of minus, so plus under root of 5 by 3 are two factors of P of x. Hence, x minus under root of 5 by 3 into x plus under root of 5 by 3 is also a factor of p of x. This implies x square minus 5 by 3. X square minus 5 by 3 is a factor of p of x. So p of x is divisible by x square minus 5 by 3. Now let us divide x square minus 5 by 3. It divides the polynomial 3x to the power 4 plus 6x cube minus 2x square minus 10x minus 5. First, this is coefficient 1, here coefficient 3, so 3 1 is 3. X to the power 2, x to the power 4, so x to the power 2. Now let us multiply. 3x to the power 4 plus minus minus 5 by 3 into 3, 3 cancel, so 5x square, 5x square, which we need to write it here minus 5x square. Now what will happen? Change the sign, it becomes minus, it becomes plus. This to cancel, so first term is here 6x cube, then it is minus, it is plus, so plus 3x square minus 10x minus 5. Now it is x square, it is x cube, so x, it is here 1, here 6, so 6, so plus 6x, so 6x cube, then 5 by 3 into 6, 3 2 just 6, 5 to 10, so 10x minus 10x. Now let us change the sign, this cancels, this also cancels, so 3x square minus 5. Now 3x square, this is x square only, so plus 3. So what we get? 3x square minus 5, that is minus plus, this cancels, this cancels. So r of x is equal to 0. As r of x is equal to 0, then what we get, that is 3x square plus 6x plus 3 is also a factor, that is this is actually g of x and this is actually q of x. What we have written, whenever r of x is equal to 0, then q of x is also a factor of p of x. Hence q of x means 3x square plus 6x plus 3 is also a factor of p of x. Now we have to factorize the expression 3x square plus 6x plus 3. This implies 339 and 336. That is 3x square plus 3x plus 3x plus 3. This implies 3x common. So here we have x plus 1 plus 3 is common, x plus 1. So the factors are 3x plus 3 and x plus 1. So this is actually q of x. Now q of x is equal to 0 implies x is equal to minus 1 and minus 1. Minus 1 and minus 1. Hence all the zeros are. Hence all the zeros of p of x are under root of 5 by 3, what is given, minus under root of 5 by 3, it is also given, minus 1 and minus 1. Next, suppose we are given that 3 comma minus 2 are two zeros of a quadratic polynomial p of x. What is polynomial p of x? So p of x is equal to, as you were said, if alpha and beta are two zeros of the polynomial, then the polynomial p of x is equal to x minus alpha into x minus beta. So p of x is equal to, say this is alpha and this is beta, then p of x is equal to x minus alpha into x minus 2, that is plus 2. Let us multiply x square minus 3x, then plus 2x, plus minus minus 6. So this is equal to x square minus x minus 6. This is the required polynomial. So discussion of polynomial according to the syllabus of class 10, it ends. Now we are in a position to answer the exercise. Okay.